All right. All you are going to need is your small ball. Remember, there's a number of different sizes. Generally, I use a 6-inch, but you can use 6, 8, or 10-inch. The larger the ball, the more support it's going to give your lower back if you have a long torso or anything going on in the back. And Stott actually sells a really decent pricing for the balls. But on the chest line, when we put it underneath the chest, a larger ball lifts you higher, which if you've got back stuff, can be too aggressive. So it's a bit of a game. I've got like 3 different sizes of these, but in the class I just use 6-inch. All right. So if you find you're struggling with any of the movements and you need more support, bigger ball for your back, right? Think of that gentle zipper. Let's just rock it back and forth and just find your awareness into your body, a little no in the neckline, little roll of the shoulders. Find yourself present in starting to zipper the abs up gently, right? We don't need to death grip. We're not loading right now. And then take an inhale through the nose. Just lift your heart as you bring it up. Exhale through the mouth and just bend the knees and let's just start to articulate down. So just listen to the back. We're circling out. Inhale, we're extending towards the top. And then exhale, we're folding all the way down. So if the knees, hips, ankles are bugging you, heel toe a little wider. And exhale down. I'm going to switch directions at the bottom. I'm going to inhale just on the ball circle. Exhale as you fold down. Go slow so you don't get lightheaded. Inhale up. And on the exhale, we're going to stay down, place the ball to the floor, or put your elbows on your quads if you're a bit tight this morning or today, and then stretch out those hamstrings, lengthen your legs, look through your legs towards the wall behind you, give a little rocking back and forth. So if that's just too aggressive to start with, your elbows are on your quads and you're just rocking back and forth this way, right? Just to give you that nice little length. And then from here, bend the knees, come all the way up. Keep the ball in both hands, reach it up. And I just want you to bend your elbows so your ball goes behind your back. Tuck your elbows in a little bit. And then just lift that heart. Feel that extension through thoracic. And then exhale, bring it back to neutral. Inhale, lift that heart, little extension. Exhale to neutral. Give me one more. Inhale, little extension, open it up, bigger and bigger as you go. Exhale, reach that ball up and over, bring it all the way down. Press it down to the floor again. Exhale, extend those legs. If you're able to, you rock back and forth, lifting the balls of your feet, or get the elbows on your quads if you need to do this. And then one more time, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, and just roll it up. Leave the ball in front of you. Roll those shoulders. Come back to sits bones, reach forward, take the ball in one hand, open, lift your heart, and give a little lift through the cycle there. And then exhale, heart hug, bend all the way down. Inhale, come all the way up. Switch and open, opposite arm on top, and heart hug down. And then let your arms dangle, peel it all the way up, roll those shoulders. So we're just going to find some back breaths. Tuck that ball into your abdomen so you sort of float up and over it, and then tuck it right into your pelvis, and then dangle your arms or elbows on if you don't like that free fold. Let your head dangle. And here, if you've got long arms, you might be touching the floor, but don't rest on it. Try to breathe as big as you can into your intercostal muscles in this rounded or flexed position. So we're using this ball to open up those intercostal muscles. It's a great place to focus on pulling the abs in, so you're not pushing your abdominals. Keep breathing into the ball. You're pulling them up away from the ball, and you're just letting your head dangle at the bottom of that movement. One more big breath, and then slowly bring it all the way up. Roll those shoulders, both hands on the ball. Tuck it into that small of the neckline again, and extend and just push your pubic bone forward a little bit, feeling that stretch, feel the extension. And then bring it back to neutral. Bring those arms all the way out. Slide that ball, not by the knees, but slightly higher so it doesn't ruin the rhythm of your squat. And then give me a little squat. Now, this is a narrow squat. Some hips don't like it. So if your hips are like, I need to go wider, take the ball out and go into a wider stance and just reach and keep the ball in your hands. If you can keep it between the inner thighs, go ahead and just squat up and down because that makes it quite narrow. Go 4 more. And go 3, and last 2. Now hold it in the down, keeping the arms reaching to counterbalance. Lift your heels a little bit and lower them. So we're just really focusing on finding that balance. If you can do a high releve, go right ahead. If you need to keep a slow little lift, that's good too. Reach the arms actively and notice how the spine wants to round. We're pulling the abs in, connecting through the ribs so that we keep a neutral spine, neutral pelvis in this position. So you should see some curve in that lower back. Go one more time. See if you can keep those heels a little lifted. Lower the arms, lift the arms. Lower the arms, stay on the ball of foot. Lift the arms, doesn't have to be high. One more time. Lift the arms, lower the heels, take that ball out and extend to tall. Give a little wiggle of the shoulders. Beautiful. Come and face the forward if you're not. Reach the arms up, circle it down. We're keeping the spine still. And right here, keep the ball in the one hand, reach it into side lateral, push your hips in opposition, and stretch everything out. Pull it in a little bit. Stretch it out. So we're moving into that side lateral position. Exhale as you push away. Inhale as you come in. Exhale, push away. Inhale to come in. Now stay in the push away. Let that bottom arm drop and just stir the pot. Let your shoulder go nice and loose. Stir it the other way. Fold down so you're rotating and come across your midline. Roll to tall. Reach it up, balls in the other arm. Over you go. My left and right are quite different in lateral. Press it out. Pull it in. Press it out. So we're just edging into that lateral flexion in the spine. Exhale as you actively reach. Inhale as you draw in. Stay in that active reach. Drop your bottom arm. Give some circles. Let the shoulder go loose in its socket. Inhale, exhale. Circle the other direction. Fold down to the floor and then roll it through. Relax those shoulders. So get a nice big stance. And we're going to peel it down vertebrae by vertebrae, come to the very bottom and bend right down into our movement pattern here. So if we're a little tight in the hips, maybe we're up here with our spin. If you're okay, down you go. If you're okay and you just want to place that ball on the floor so you can use your hands for a bit more support, that's good too. And then really twist it around. So I'm twisting right through to one, twisting right through to the other, starting to get some articulation into my toes as well. Use your elbow and push away, push out on both knees, maybe with your elbow as you spin from left to right. And then come back to the center, hands on the ball or on the floor or on your shins or quads. Press the legs to straight and give a little poodle wag here. Inhale, exhale. Again, you're a little tight. Your hands are here on your quads and your poodle wagging or right up onto your shins or quads. And then bend the knees, grab that ball, slowly float all the way up. And just roll that. Place the ball just to the side of your mat so it's easy to grab. If it runs away, don't worry about it. Start at the end of your mat. And we're just going to do some roll downs just to warm up. Reach, come around the corner. Think of hollowing your abdomen. Find your hands on the floor or fingertips if you can't get them there. When you first walk out, find your hand flat. In 4, 3, knees down on 2 and 1. Keep the toes curled under. Sit back, stretch out your toes. And then come forward. And then sit back, stretch out those toes. Come forward. This time, sit back, stay back. If your knees don't invite, stay a little higher up. Press into those toes a little more. So now I've put all the weight back into the toes. Watch you're not sickling out on your ankles. Again, bunions, arthritis, just be a little careful here. Try and get more weight into the big toe, second toe. If you see your ankles sickling, push on those ankles and try and get them right underneath your sits bones so you actually feel your big toe getting that stretch. Nice strong breath. Hands behind your back. If you can interlace them, great. If you can't, just keep them reaching and press that out. Open the chest. Ooh. Again, too tight on the knees or too hard on the toes, come up to here. Super tight in the shoulders, grab a strap. Let that come all the way out. Place your hands to the floor. Paddle out those toes a little bit. And then curl them back under. Take the ball, slide it between that inner thigh, about the same position as the squat. We're just going to do some pregnant cats here, you guys. Let your belly drop without your spine changing. So the belly drops, and then pull your abs up into the back of your spine. Inhale, let it drop. Exhale, draw it up and in. One more time. So just that transversus abdominis waking up. Pull it up and in. Keep it up and in. Lift your knees an inch. Hang out here. Hold for 5, 4, neutral spine, neutral pelvis, 3, 2, lower the knees, take a little push back, uncurl the toes if you need to, take an inhale, exhale, come back up into your 4-point. Remember, you can be on your elbows if you need to, gang. Lift your knees. We're going to start some rotation. Skipping your vision and your shoulders to the front, rotate your knees to one side. And then bring it back. I paw at the floor when I bring it back. Exhale, rotate. So my butt drops towards the floor and I rotate. Inhale to center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. 2 more. Exhale, rotate, getting some rotation in our spine. 1 more time. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Drop the ball out from your legs. Push up into a down dog or elephant. Again, tight here. You're going to bend the knees, lift the heels. Otherwise, I'm kind of swaying from left to right. I have a little hack where I grab the sides of my mat because my hands slip all the time. And I want to feel like I'm going to hold strong. Probably just a cheap mat. Wiggle that tailbone. Knees can be bent if you need to. And then walk your hands to your feet. In 4, 3, all the way in, place the ball off to the side. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone. Take a big inhale at the very top. Lift that heart. Exhale, hands down, center heart. We're going to walk it out all the way to full plank. All the way down, hands towards the floor. Walk it out in 4, 3, all the way out in 2 and 1. If you need to, drop those knees immediately. Otherwise, we're going to bend the knees back and come forward. So a little pouncing cat. So my first level on pouncing cat is knees down. This way, there's less pressure into my knees, my hips, my ankles, and less pull onto the back. Working for you, you're keeping a supported spine now. You're going back and forth. Inhale, exhale. If this is really working for you, when you pounce forward, take 1 foot off. So I'm going to pounce back, and then I'm going to reach 1 foot off as I come into my plank. Pounce back, and then reach the other foot. Let's go 4 more. And 3, you don't have to choose that. 2, 1, stay in the forward, lower your knees, untuck your toes, and slowly let your pelvis drop. Now, this is a big movement initially. So if your back is like, no, not yet, come down to your elbows and then lift up this way for the movement versus being on your hands. If you're okay on your hands, stay there. If that back feels tight, come to your elbows. I'm wiggling from side to side, and I'm just getting my back feeling the sensation of extension. I'm not drawing my abs in. I've now let my booty go, and I'm just wiggling left and right. Bring it back to center. Lower yourself down. Hands into push-up position. Slightly supported spine. Stay on the knees and push away from the floor. Press back, and let's just child's pose out. On child's pose, I'm opening my knees as wide as I can. So I've lifted up, and I'm opening my adductors, and then I'm going to slide forward into my elbows. If I can go deeper, I will. My hips, this is where they're going right now. And once we're here, so you've got a wide position, move from left to right. So in this wide kind of position, without a heavy weight load into the legs, I'm going to glide myself left and right, stretching into those thighs a bit. Inhale, exhale, mobilizing through the pelvis and the hips, all those attachments deep in there. And then find yourself in neutral. Bring your knees back into parallel. Find your hands in 4-point stance. Cat-cow. Take an inhale, round your spine, hollow the abdomen, nice big inhale. Sit your booty back to your heels, walk your fingers forward, overstretch your fingers so you feel your lat line on the back stretch out. Big inhale here. Exhale, come back up into 4-point, and then untuck your tailbone, look up and push your tailbone away. You got your cow. Take an inhale, exhale, round from the tailbone first, fold it up. Inhale here. Exhale, sit back, walk those fingers forward, feel that stretch. If you want to kind of walk one hand and the other, and now start to wiggle a little bit, it'll give you more stretch to the back line. Go right ahead. And then come back up into angry. Untuck your tailbone, go through into your cow, and then find yourself in neutral. Sternum drops, keeping the elbows quite strong but not hyperextended. Lower through your shoulders and press away. Neutral spine, neutral pelvis, no movement through the back. Movements happening through the shoulder blades. No movement through the spine. Movements happening through the shoulder blades. Lower and press away. 2 more. This is hugely important. being able to mobilize these scaps. Press away, keep it pressed away, curl the toes under, and let's lift. Find that little down dog again. I'm going to move my hands farther forward and bring my head out and paw at the floor. So I'm going from one foot to the other, just pawing through there. Inhale, exhale, then leave both heels pushing to the floor and drop down into your chest line, getting more shoulder stretch. If this is tough, lift the heels, bend the knees. Take a really big breath here. Walk back to your feet in 4. Hand stays flat. 3. Bend the knees here if you need to. We're dangling, looking through our legs versus looking at the floor. And then bend the knees, drop the tailbone. You don't need your ball. We're going to do a little bit of flow here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come around the corner, all the way around. Bend the knees, hips, ankles. Find that floor. Walk it out to full. 4. Put your knees down if you need to. 3, 2, 1. We're going to pounce back. And again, I can be on my knees. And then drive one knee forward. So we're getting into the bigger movements now. Pounce back and drive. So I can bend the knees as I pounce back, or I can pike my hips up. I like the pike up, but we're trying to drive that foot on the outside right towards our hand and then press back. And we're just going back and forth in these big movements. They're going to get all those joints warm. And just breathe naturally. Now keep your leg forward. Keep one leg forward. I don't care which one. Lower your knee and then rotate open to that little gecko. Take that hand as far back as you can. Look at it. Big breath here. Bring it all the way back down. Make sure it's firm. Get those toes curled. Push back. Go again. Other leg. Drive it forward. Rotate open. Look towards that backhand. Really big breath here, you guys. Bring the hand back down and press back. We're going to add on a stepping stone. Drive that leg forward. Don't put your knee down. Bring your hand off and see if you can glide this foot through and kick it out. There it is. 2-point stance. Take your time and then bring it all the way back. Push your hips up. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Drive that knee forward. Take your hand off. You can put your hand on your quad. It'll give you more stability. Slowly drag this leg. If you can lift it, go ahead. If you need to drag it, go ahead. And then stretch it out. See if you can reach the opposite hand, 2-point stance. And then bring it all the way back. Push your hips back. Get a little stretch. Walk your hands to your feet. 4, 3, all the way in on 2 and 1. That's big mobility there, you guys. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, curl the spine. Bring it all the way up. Give a few little wiggles. Open that up. We're not going to do a big standing sequence today. We're going to go right into the mat, come towards the front. We're going to do some just squats down in passive squat here. So I'm in lateral rotation. I'm going to squat down, see where that'll go. See if I can keep my heels down, or if I need to bring my toes or heels off, that's okay. Round the spine, give a few little wiggles down here. And then bring it up. One more time, bring it all the way down, see where it'll go. And I'm just going to do a roll from here. If you don't like it, just sit down. Otherwise, I'm going to roll and come right back up onto my body. I'm driving my heels into the corner of my mat. I'm going to sit tall. If sit tall is not happening for you in your lower back or your hammies today, sit up on a pad, right? Put the ball quite high up into your inner thigh. You're not squeezing it. You're just putting it there so it doesn't run away. Reach the arms to the side, drop the shoulders. Let's do a little spine twist. Inhale, rotate. Don't let your pelvis go. Don't let one leg get shorter. Rotate. Rotate again. Look to the backhand. Watch you're not leaning back, right? Tall sit, back to center. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, give me a bit more. Inhale, a little bit more. Exhale, center. Notice as you do this, keep going, 3 little movements getting deeper, 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 that you tend to clench your quad muscle. The direction you're turning, we will clench that quad muscle, which really, they can be a little tense, but they shouldn't be gripping on you. So see if you can focus on letting go of that muscle. If it's gripping, chances are you want to sit up on a block to get rid of rec fem working as a hip flexor. Rotate, bring it back to center, relax the arms, roll those shoulders. We're going to do spine stretch. Inhale up, exhale, head and hands go down. Keep what's down, down. So keep your flexion. Inhale, hands lift a little. Exhale, a little farther down. Lumbar spine stays vertical to the earth. So this is where you'll want to lean forward. Stay vertical. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, a little bit more, stretch into the lower back. Massive breath here. And then stack to tall. Let's do it again. Float the arms up. If you can bring your legs in closer, go ahead. You might need to move the ball lower down. Inhale up. This will be harder on the hamstrings. Exhale, float down. Inhale up. Exhale, another part of the spine floats down. Inhale, baby lift. Exhale, one more time. So be mindful here, don't reach with your arms. It's not arm stretch, it's spine stretch. Have your elbows bent, fold forward. If you feel this fold forward, but you think you're leaning too far forward, now take that ball, stick it into the abdomen, and fold over the ball. And that'll force you into a bit more of a rounded back. And then 2 big breaths down here. One more breath. And then stack to tall. Beautiful. Move yourself towards the front of your mat and just place that ball into the lower back. So tuck it right in. It's going to move. We're just placing it here for now. Sit tall with your legs extended. And then exhale, scoop and lean back into the ball. So I'm leaning back and I feel like it's too close in. So I'm going to pull it out a little bit so I can get a deeper lean. And then go ahead and sit tall. Now, if you moved it back, you'll have to hold the ball when you sit up. Right? So now if I sit up, my ball will run away. Exhale, scoop. So I'm just going to hold it till I get into position. Inhale up. Exhale, scoops around everything. On this one, inhale, lift. Exhale, scoop, grab those legs, draw them in. Find your balance. Once you have your balance, steal the ball. Put the ball up into the upper thigh between your calf and your quad, rolling like a ball. So nice big rounded position. Inhale, tailbone to sky. Exhale, freeze. Inhale, tailbone to sky. Exhale, freeze. So often we initiate this movement by throwing our head back. I want you to think of contracting your abs stronger to initiate. The distance from my heels and tush, knees to shoulders, stays consistent. Go 2 more. Inhale back. Exhale up. Last time, inhale back. Exhale, stay in the up. Reach those legs and just stick that ball between the inner thigh. Find a little beach pose. So now I'm trying to extend up. If I'm tight, I might have to go to my elbows and just kind of open my back. If I'm okay, my hands can be there. And I'm just sort of lifting open. We're going to go deeper into that open, get a little stronger on your mat, more centered. Put the ball between your shoulder blades, not high up where the neck is, the lowest part of the shoulder blade. Roll back on that, and then just let your legs butterfly open. So I just want you to kind of let your legs flop from left to right. If you find some restriction here, let's do some 90-90s. So have your legs just open to the sides, left and right. If this is bothering your neck, take one hand and support it for me. And then take your legs wider on the floor and turn one knee in and out. One knee. Just let them go back and forth. Get some movement in the one knee. And then go ahead and move the other knee. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. So I'm farther out and I'm just trying to move my knee. My legs are quite far out and I'm trying to drop my knee down. Now, my hips are restricted and that's as far as my knee's going. If you can go farther, go ahead. So I'm just kind of moving them and then go from left to right. Left to right. Your butt does lift. You get a rotation happening in there. Get bigger and bigger as you go, as it feels comfortable. Beautiful. And then stay with your feet in parallel sits bones. Support your neck. Let's arch it over. Feel that stretch. And bring it back. So we are doing a little bit of an ab crunch here, but that's not the focus yet. Go ahead and stay in the arch over. If you're able to let go of your head, if it's too aggressive, get a pad or a pillow, put it underneath your neckline, and let's snow angel the arms. So inhale, reach them up above the head, and then snow angel them down. So the focus here is just letting the chest open. If this feels good, stretch out your legs. So I've got a huge inhale as my arms come above my head, and a nice exhale as they come back and around. Now bring the arms above the head, tuck your hands underneath your neckline, bring your elbows in a bit so you can see them in peripheral. Exhale, curl it up. Feet go strong, push back a little farther. So the ball now is not on my belly button, but kind of close to it. And I'm going to do some arch and curls. So I'm going to arch back, Don't let your head look behind. Keep it nice and strong, and then crunch in. Arch back, crunch in. So if this is too difficult, you move the ball higher up in the shoulders. If it feels good, you move the ball lower down so it's kind of almost underneath the belly button, allowing you more arch, more range of motion. Don't lie back and relax. Lie back and connect. Now, if this is working for you, start marching on the legs. Inhale down, exhale up. Still working for you? Walk the legs out to straight and then march a leg in. Down and up. Zipper those abs, and we're just literally crunching the abs. Nice and slow. The legs are heavy. You don't have to lift them. Let's go. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Finish one more. We're uneven. Leave one foot down, leave the other. Move the ball a little higher between your shoulder blades. So instead of going down to your belly button, move it higher in your shoulder blades. Put one hand behind your head. Other hand is going to reach to the side. Right? So I'm showing it on this side first. And then I'm going to come over in an oblique crunch, supporting my neck. Now, if I want to be able to come a little higher, I'm going to move the ball down the spine again and try to imagine lifting off the ball. We're not, but imagine coming as high as you can, crunching into the oblique. If you want to come a little higher and you just can't quite get it there, take this free hand behind your knee and pull a little bit with your bicep. That'll cause more muscle fibers to contract. It's not cheating. It's like spotting your own body weight. Let's go 4 more. 3, draw those abs in. 2, 1. Hold center. Sneak the other hand down on the floor behind the knee. And here we go. Notice how the hips want to twist and the whole body wants to spin. Keep your pelvis as quiet as you can. The movement's happening through thoracic and cervical. More challenge. Dip down as far as you can go. Open and up. Big range both directions. The ball's making you unstable, so make sure you're pushing into it. Let's go. 5, 4. Breathe out as you come up. 3, 2, 1. And release. Pull the ball higher up towards that shoulder blade, middle of the shoulder blades again, and stretch those abs open. Little snow angel. Put the plaid underneath your head if you want. Open up that chest line. Open up those abs. One more big breath here. Slide your hands underneath your headline once it's released out. And let's go ahead and engage to roll up. One foot to the floor, other foot to the floor. Push yourself away so that you can get underneath and bring yourself up. Perfect. Take that ball, set yourself. If you want to use your hand weights here, you can. So have them to either side of your body. Roll down carefully, and we're going into a little bit of toe tap. Now, if you're very unstable, don't use the ball, right? Otherwise, up come the hips. Place that ball on the sacrum tailbone. So if I felt my butt cheeks and the ball, they'd be in a straight vertical line. If I'm able to, I'm going to hold neutral. The legs are heavy. If you know you need a supported spine, rib hip slightly. Knee fold one leg off. Keep it connected. Don't bring it in too tight. Knee fold the other and put a brick wall in front of your quads. Now, some of you guys are getting used to these exercises. So the way you up this is a short tabletop. The way I'd up it is I'd start with my legs farther out. They're not straight, but I'd start with them farther out, and that would be a long tabletop, right? From here, let's start our toe taps. Exhale down, so that middle finger on ASIs, thumbs on ribs. Nothing is changing in the abs. Working for me, rocking it, hands weights, and we're going to take the hands over the head. So as the foot drops, my arms go over, and they come back, connect those ribs. Exhale, inhale. My palms are facing my quads, and my back of the hand is going towards the floor. Watch the rib pop. Still working for you. Start to extend that leg out. I like to flex the foot out, point the foot to come in. It's up to you. If this is feeling too much pull in the hip flexor, you're staying with the smaller movement. Still working nicely for you. Extend the legs to the sky and lower down in a scissor position. Totally up to you here, you guys. Let's go. 4 more. And we are going to transition to doubles. 3 more. Make sure there's no movement happening in that core. 2 more. Last 1. Reach the arms to the sky, bend the knees to 90, and I want you to start flies on the arms, out to the side and in. If you're not using the arms, don't worry about it, right? On this one, I'm going to go really slow with the arms and toe tap down in a count of 4, 3, double toe tap, 2, 1, come up in 4, 4, 3, it's slow, 2, 1. Feeling good, straighten out the legs, but maybe it's difficult, so you're going to lift them higher and then pull them in. If it's working for you, you'll lift them and you'll push them out lower. 4, 3, 2, 1, and in. 2. So as the legs go out to the side and the arms are out to the back and the arms go out to the side, you should feel the core getting pulled on or more pressure through the abdominals and through the back. And that's where you're going to zipper tighter to not let any movement happen in your spine, right? And bring it in. 2. It's a stabilization exercise. Let's do 1 more. Out, 2, zipper up, 3, 4, and in. 2, 3. Stay here. Turn your palms like you're doing a bench press and just come down and up. Down and up. Inhale, exhale. Just a little bit of arms. 4 more while stabilizing. 3 more. Go into a long tabletop if you want, or keep it short, right? If I'm okay, I would send the legs out to straight and hold on to this movement. Let's go 5. Go where you need to. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring everything in. Slide those weights down. Take that ball out from underneath the butt. Leave it on the side. Grab behind one leg, grab behind the other. Roll it up. Let's tabletop to let those hip flexors stretch out. So my fingers point to my bum. My feet come in tight. Up we go. Try and push the hips to the sky. See if you can look to the sky as well. If that's hard on the neck, look forward. We're trying to get the hips from down here open, which stretches out rectum, and it stretches out your hip flexors, also stretches out your shoulders. And then touch the bum down. We've got 2 more. Exhale and press. Inhale and down. I do want an ass squeeze when you get out there. All right, so right here, I'm squeezing my bum to thrust my hips up with control. Go 1 more. Go ahead and stay here. See if you can lift your heels and lower your heels. Lift your heels and lower. Zipper up those abs. 4 more. If the neck bothers you, look to your knees. If you're okay, look to the sky. 2 more. And 1. Lower the knees, lower the bum. We are going to do wild thing. So I'm going to take that hand and I'm going to move it farther back now and spin it away. Watch you don't jam out on that elbow. My other hand is using my tailbone and I'm pulling it up, right? So I'm going to lift up and I'm going to try to push those hips a little extra distance so I can get that stretch, and then look and reach. And then bring my booty right back down. Both sits bones hit. Exhale, press. Inhale down. 1 more. Exhale, press. Inhale down. Now on this one, stay on the down. Come down to your elbow. You can either go to your knee or your foot, but I'm going to rotate up, press one leg out, press the other, and if I can stack both feet, I will. If that's difficult, I'll put my front foot forward. If I'm still not having the side plank, I'm going to move my ball. I'm going to go to my knees, right? So you're where you can control. I'm stacked over my elbow. I'm going to lower and lift my hips. 5, 4, lateral flexion here. 3, 2, 1. Stay not lifted, but in neutral. Reach one arm, reach one leg. Hold. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower that foot and put it forward. So it can be the knee forward or the foot forward, but I'm going to rotate my plank and face the floor and then face you guys. Rotate. Move your hips. My hips are facing here to the floor. Now my hips face you. One more little addition if you're able to. As I rotate around, I'm going to dip my hip to the one outside. Come all the way around and reach. Go ahead, rotate round, little dip, and come around and reach. You got 2 more, guys. Rotate round. This is my knee option, right? So all this can be done on the knees. One more time, rotate, dip. Hold it here. Put your hip down. Pull in for a little mermaid. Tuck that knee in. Settle your hip down. So if you're anything like me with the hips, you might have to work at this a little bit. You might have to lift and press. Still super tight, sit on a block. We're going to rotate the body. Line this hand up with your sit bone. Rotate. And I'm going to put the hand down in my back. Hardest is reaching. I'm going to go down and up. The weight is in my back arm. My elbow's tucked in, so I'm waking up some triceps. If I'm good with this, I'm going to lift that back leg, squeeze my booty, and maybe even reach the leg. All the weight is in the back hand as you go down. What tends to happen is we round. I want you to stay long. Stay long. It's either neutral or when you come up, give me a little extension, right? It's either staying neutral or in the up, you're giving me a little extension. Thoracic and cervical. One more time. On this one, come all the way out. Tuck that heel back into your butt. Sink and give me side lateral the opposite direction. Nice big breath. And then rotate down towards that hip. Bring it back up. Place this hand by your hip again. A little farther out, but by your hip. And then I'm going to take both hips. I'm going to lift up and come down. Yes, you got it, Kylie. So if it feels good, you reach and then sink. And then you reach and you sink. One more time. Reach and sink. Go ahead from here. We're doing wild thing the other side. Swing right around. So that whole wild thing sequence, all of that we got to put together. Remember, chances are I'm going to forget the sequence. So someone remind me whatever I forget. Kylie. Hand is reaching out and I'm going to come up. I'm going to hit my wild thing on this side and then sit it back down and then press it out. Look back to that back hand if you can and bring it down. We've got 2 more before we hold the plank. If you want to make sure your elbow's on the mat and your feet are on the mat and you're not slipping, make sure you're towards the front of your mat with that back hand. Reach, last time, and bring it down. Now I'm going to come down to the elbow. I didn't mention this, but if you have joint issues, fold the elbow, right? Or pad. From here, I'm going to do a baby lift, stretch out one leg, or go to my knee, rotate my hips around, and that foot can go to the front or it can stack. Abs are engaged. Arm can reach, and I'm going to lower, lift, inhale, exhale. So it's just that lateral movement. 4, hip goes to the floor. Now as you bring that hip down, you should feel a pretty good stretch in the QL. And then lift up. Don't be shy about that. 2 more. And 1. Hold the star. Lift that leg if you're able to. 5, 4. If you need this hand down, go ahead. If you need your knee down, go ahead. 3, 2. This foot is going to go to the front. And we're going to rotate and then bring it back to me. Once you've got it, rotate and see if you can give me that extra little dip. And then rotate to me. Really be mindful on this movement that your weight isn't way over your elbow. Otherwise, your shoulder's going to get really pissed off very quickly. Abs are drawn in. We're really waking up that core on these. We're going to go 2 more. And last 1. Hold here. Lower your hips. Draw your knee in. And let's find our little mermaid. Did I forget anything? I think I got it. Lower into that hip. All right, so I'm just going to move that hip a little bit. If you have no hip issues, this will be easy for you to get that sit bone down. If you're a little tight in the hips, you're going to play here for a few minutes, just trying to get that pelvis moving nicely. And then stay in the hold, rotate, hand goes into position, down, small back, reach, lift the leg, don't lift the leg, up to you, inhale, exhale. The weight should be, I'm just going to totally rotate this around. The weight should be on this back hand. The elbow should be tucked like a little grasshopper. so that we feel this tricep muscle as we're going up and down. As you go down, there'll be a tendency to flex. I want you to stay lengthened. If you can give me a little more extension on the lift up, go for it. Let's do 2 more. Wake up that tricep muscle. And last one, and those extensors, right? And then stay in the up, tuck that heel in a little tighter, settle the hip down. Let's go lateral flexion. Really breathe into the rib cage here, you guys. And then rotate it down towards that knee. Bring it back to lateral. And this hand is going behind your back to give you support. You're lifting up your hips, right? So start small if you're tight, little lift. If you're not, go for it right away, right? So I'm going to lift right up and dip my hips both down. Let's go for 4. And down. And 3. And down. Beautiful. Go 2 more for me. Nice, you guys. Yes. Last one. And then drop your hips down. Grab your ball. You may or may not choose to use it. You can also choose a weight if you want. So have those 2 pieces of toys right there. This arm's going to reach. We're going to go side lateral leg lift series, you guys. Reach, stretch the legs out. And I like to lie right along the front of my mat as I go down. Now, if your hand is not doing this and your shoulder's not doing it, put it forward and use the ball underneath your head or a couple pads. Harder on this. Take the ball, run it away. Don't do that. Oh my God, come back here. Put it underneath your lateral malleolus of your bottom leg. We're going to try that again. That was very fancy. All right, so I'm pushing my ankle bone into the ball, but I still want to stay active with everything facing forward. My other leg joins the party, and I'm going to go up and down, right? So if I need this hand here, I can keep it there. Try not to post your head up, right? That's a kink in the neck. We just want to be long. If you're good with it, you can place that weight, oh, I am wobbly today, on that thigh. That may not happen in my body today. Lower and lift. So I'm pointing as I come up, flexing as I go down. My body really wants to roll onto my back butt cheek like a kickstand. Don't let that happen. If that's happening, put the hand down gently, get rid of that weight. 2 more. That's where I'm going to go. I am just not holding nicely today. I'm just going to flirt. And now start your circles. So we don't want to roll back and forth and kind of run away from stability. Little circles here. If you find yourself doing that, put the hand down, but just delicately. Challenge it, but don't roll back and forth huge amounts. It kind of messes with the purpose of it. Circle the other way. Side leg lift series 2 is our beautiful little circles here, you guys. Now, as I circle this leg, I'm going to bring it around the back side. If I have the ball underneath my legs, I'll use it. If I don't worry about it. I'm going to move the foot forward and grab the ball between both legs. And then my ball now is between my medial malleolus, ankle bones. Lift and lower. No ball, just put your feet together. 5, 4, don't roll backwards. 3, 2, 1. Pull the knees in and place that ball right between the ankle bones. Stack your knees. Line your heels up with your sits bone. So it's not 90 degree at my hip. My hip is open. It's sit bone to heel. And then lower lift. So I'm going internal, external rotation of hip. What happens here is we roll backwards on our booty and we roll backwards through the pelvis and the back. And I want to keep my body between 2 planes of glass and literally just move my hip. If you want to support your head here to watch the action, that's fine on this one because we're not putting a lot of pressure into the spine. We're just opening and closing. More, place that weight. Little internal externals. Go 4 more. 3, 2. So the ball is making you be able to get a little more internal. Now hold it in the open. Lift your heels as well. So my heels are lifted. I'm holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull that right in. Slide that weight off. And then just reach that, leave that ball there. Place your elbow underneath and let's go side kick series. Or sorry, a sideline kick series. So I'm lengthening out. I'm going to anchor my bottom foot. The farther out I anchor, the more love it'll give me. My other hand goes on top. I'm between 2 planes of glass. Lift the ribs. lower the ribs, lift the ribs. Tendency here will be to arch and lift. I want you to pretend there's a string on your rib cage, taking it straight to the sky. So this is my sideline kick series 3 when I'm moving the rib cage. We're going to add to this. Now keep your ribs down, flex your top leg, kick it forward twice. 1, 2, point the foot and lift the ribs as you extend your hip behind you. So it's inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Keep going. What happens on this movement is when we do the 2 kicks forward, the spine likes to flex, stay neutral. And as we kick back, the spine likes to extend. Stay neutral. Go 2 more. 1 more. Stay with that leg extended. Lift up the ribs and hold for 5. Try and get a good mouse hole happening here. 4, 3. I am pushing into the elbow area. 2 and 1. Lower that down. Pull the knees in and let's just swing it to the other side. Again, weight is optional. Get that ball underneath the lateral malleolus. I'm going to do it in long position. Line yourself right up with the edge of the mat, and that allows you to know if you're rolling back and forth or not. Arm reaches, and then start your lower lift of the leg. So test the waters on this side. Maybe this side's a bit more stable. Inhale, exhale. I have a very large difference between left and right when it comes to stability. Inhale, exhale. So I point to come up, flex to come down. If that's confusing, just keep the hip moving. The idea is hip mobility. Let's go 4 more. So we're getting our glute me, glute min. We don't want to roll our foot and our knee to face the sky. We want it facing forward. We want the glute me, glute min. We want those hip stabilizers working here. Go 2 more. Draw the abs up and in. And 1. Now take it to your circles. I'm going to put that weight down and hold gently on it so I can get a bigger circle going. Let's go 4. Again, not super stable. 3. Reach that bottom leg actively, guys. 2 and 1. Now go the other way. Nice big circles. So I can go as big as I want in the circles as long as I don't rock forward and backwards on my pelvis. So the size is limited to your stability. Now on that movement to the back, move your bottom leg forward. Grab that ball between both feet. Now it's in between the ankles. Lift and lower. Double leg lift. Let's go 4. Squeeze that. Feel the abs assist in the work. 2 more. And 1. And then pull those knees in. Move that ball more between literally the ankle bones if it's not quite there yet. And you can prop your head here. Get your heels lined up with your sits bones, not the knees into the chest. And then lower and lift that top hip. So if you're not sure if you're rolling back, you could lie against the wall, or you could put your hand in the small of your back and just feel if you're feeling your body weight fall backwards into your hand, right? So there shouldn't be any movement from your sacrum right up to the very top of your cervical. It's just the hip, down and up, down and up. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the knee up, pull both feet up, and just kind of hang out here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Pull it right in. Get rid of that ball. And then anchor your bottom foot. Extend your top leg. Sneak that underneath. And we're going to side kick series. We're going right into the number 3. So lift and lower. Tier 3. Lift the ribs, lower the ribs. Let's go 4 more. Lift that rib cage. 3. That leg is just reaching for now between 2 planes of glass. So if I look down from my hip to my knee to my ankle is one long straight line, as if I'm standing on that leg. Now go ahead and leave the rib down, and I'm going to do 2 kicks forward, point the toe, and extend as I lift my ribs and go back. So I'm going to go. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Really try and lift the ribs. If you can't feel the sensation of lift the ribs, bring your elbow in closer so you can get up in the armpit. Go 2 more. 1 more. And release down. Beautiful. Roll, grab that ball, roll back onto the back. And I just want you to find a 4 stretch. Push into that. So I'm just going to use that ball underneath my head. I'm going to push into the hand. If this is deep enough, stay here. If you can pull that knee in, if that works for you, go ahead. If you have double pigeon in your practice, sit up and go ahead. I don't. But if you do, please go ahead and double pigeon and just lie forward into your hips. Yeah, choose what works for you. Just because I can't go there doesn't mean you can't, right? If you've got that in you, please go there. Couple inhales, exhales. If you need to hold this longer, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to switch legs, open up the other hip. I'm just taking my hand, I'm pushing my knee out to the side. If you can lift up and pull in, go ahead. If you can roll up and switch into that double pigeon, go right ahead. Even single pigeon, right? Whatever's working for you that gets deep enough into your hips. For me, this is where it is today. Always honor your body, whatever it's giving you. And give you a different shit every day. That's the fun part about our bodies. Cycle your breath so you relax out your hips. And then we're going to steal that ball. We're going to find some hamstrings before we go into our extensors. So unfold, come back to your back if you're not there already. If you already know you've got really tight hamstrings, don't use the ball. No headrest. If you're using the ball, it is much more aggressive. I'm going to line my pubic bone up with the ball and then let the arch of my foot lie. So it's not ball of foot or heels, it's the arch. And then from there, I'm just going to kind of push down with my feet. Hands to the floor, my legs are abducted initially, and then I'm going to lift up. I'm going to squeeze my inner thighs together as I lift. Now holding bridge, so I'm not articulating. I'm going to lower the bum, let my booty gently touch, my legs butterfly, and then squeeze. If it's working for me and I want to add some weights, I'm going to start those flies that we already warmed up, and I'm going to add that. Because I've lifted my arms, I'm much more unstable again. Total option. Let's go 4 more. Squeeze those knees right together. 3 more. 2. And 1. Now leave the knees squeezing. Leave those weights reaching or the hands reaching. Pulse the bum up. Turn your butt cheek on and off. Don't just randomly thrust your hips to the sky. Squeeze your glutes on and off. 5, 4. Zip of the abs. 3, 2, 1. Open and bring yourself down. Weights down, but have them accessible if you want them. And we're going to go into single leg. So I'm going to line that heel up with my sit bone on the ball or no ball at all, right? Both feet down, both hands down. Press to lift. Now push into your foot and find stability. If this is difficult, you're going to start with just a heel lift. If you want to work harder, you'll move the ball farther away from your bum. I'm happy where mine is. If this is working for you, you'll lift the leg all the way off and just toe tap down. As I did that, I put middle finger on ASI's, thumbs on ribs, and I'm watching that I'm not changing my back position. If it's bothering the back, lower it down and give me a slightly supported spine. If you're okay, lift it up and continue the movement. Still working nicely, that leg goes straight. That straight leg, it's heavy. When I lie it down, I get a hip flexor stretch. Let's go 4 more. 3. If you can bring your arms up, go ahead. 2 more. Again, not very stable today. My elbows are staying down. Now either reach the leg to the sky, bent or straight, or reach it equal to your quad. Equal to your quad is harder. Squeeze that butt cheek. Squeeze, squeeze, lift up and down. 5, 4, there she is. 3, 2, 1. Put that foot down, bring the bum down, swing the ball right to the other side. We're going right into the other side, then we'll stretch it out, I promise. Foot, heel lined up with your sit bone, other foot in tight, neutral spine or supported, depends on your back. Find your hold position. Push up with your 1 foot down. Now just lift and lower the heel to start with. Find your calf, your hamstring, your glute, all of your back muscles, your extensors, your QL, even more so the QL on the supported leg. Find those all turned on. Once that's nicely connected, start that full leg lift. Tempo is up to you. Nothing wrong with going quick if you are completely controlling it. If it still feels good, you're going into that straight leg. Remember, as the leg goes down, you're going to get a hip flexor stretch. This is my pissy hip, so I'm going to keep that knee bent. right? Listen to your body, squeeze the glutes, because what'll happen is the hips will start to drip, right? Go 4 more. Don't let those hips drip. Squeeze that ass and that hamstring to stop it. 2 more. And 1. Now keep the leg either bent, straight, or reaching, and squeeze to pop it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, butt down. A little happy baby here, you guys. Take that ball like it's pushing out the butt end. So now instead of in line with my sits bones, it's pushing out. I'm just going to knee fold and let my back go into flexion. And then I'm just going to come into my happy baby. So if I can't grab my feet, I'm going to grab my shins and pull my knees down to the wide side of my body. If I'm okay, I'm going to take peace fingers. I'm going to grab my big toes, or maybe I'll roll up a little bit and grab my knees completely. Now, what I'm noticing, and I want you to watch this in your body, because I can't see this on the video. I have one foot going in front of the other because one hip is just so much tighter. So what's happening is my pelvis is twisting to run away. So I'm coming out of the stretch a bit, making sure I'm staying a little more straight, and then I'm pulling down, trying to get equal turnout on both hips as I pull. And where my brakes are, when I feel myself going into a lopsided position, that's my brakes. Straighten and bend those knees. Open that up. Stretch those hammies. Inhale, exhale as you go. If this feels good, you can straighten straight over top, grab those legs, and get a little deeper. Now, if plow or rollovers in your practice, you might need the ball a little higher up the tailbone, and you want to get that extra little stretch, please go ahead and go into that now. If you're happy where you are, stay. I'll just show you really quick what I mean if you're not sure. I'm going to go up and over, and I'm just going to hold a deeper plow. Or if I'm really feeling good about it, I can go into a few rollovers. I'm not going to cue you through those. If that's feeling good in your body today, please go ahead and do about 4 or 5 of those. Inhale, exhale as you go. And then we're slowly, after you've done your set, you're going to bring one leg down and then the other. Lift off that ball, and we're going to roll right onto our tummies. I'm just going to turn so I can see the screen better, but all you need to do is lift up onto your tummies. Roll it forward. We need to reset the spine the opposite direction, so we're going to do a couple floppies. I'm just keeping the ball just in front of me. If it rolls away, don't worry about it. Give the booty a little wiggle from left to right. Let your abs let go. Let your ass let go. And then floppies. So my hands are engaged without clenching. I'm in lateral rotation of knee, hip, ankle. I'm just going to push up till I feel my pubic bone is down. I'm not clenching my ass, but I feel mobility in the lumbar region. Right? So those are the bottom 5 vertebrae. They're not at the very bottom. The very bottom is your sacrum and your coccyx, right? And you're just feeling that little stretch there, and then bring it on down. So you may not even come with the elbows coming off. If I bring my hands in closer and I go up, I still don't want to clench the abs. I still don't want to clench the bum. I want the movement to go into the spine. If your neck is okay, go ahead and look up. It's not wrong. It's moving the way the spine is allowed to move. And then bring it down. So we're going to get some extension in there. If the ball's too aggressive, don't use it. Otherwise, I'm putting it into my sternum bone. I have lateral rotation of knee, hip, ankle. And I'm just going to start with my belly button pulled off the floor, right? So right now it's relaxed. Now I'm pulling it off. And then I'm squeezing the glutes a little and then actively reaching the legs. Hands are by my sides. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades and release it down. So my rhomboids now, my lats, teres major, lots of stuff is happening as we're squeezing up and down. Heavier will be arms out to the side. Heavier, go ahead and use your weights. Anytime we're doing any arm action, if you want the weights, please go ahead. Let's go 5 more. Stay lifted in your thoracic and your cervical. 4 more. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Now cycle the hands towards your back, your legs, palms are up, lift and lower. If this is working for you, straighten out the legs and hover the legs maybe an inch or 2. It's very small. The glutes and the hamstrings should turn on quite strong. If that's firing the back, lower the legs, maybe pull the ball farther up towards your headline, not literally, but still pull those abs in. Reach those arms and lower them. We're going to move this into breaststroke. Bring your hands back into swan position, lower your legs. Dive into the water, forward flexion occurs. Pinkies come around to your thighs. You lift, if you're okay, lift the legs. Thumbs to shoulders. We're holding an extension here. Exhale and dive. So I want more movement. I'm moving forward on my ball. So now I'm diving deeper. Pinkies to thighs, thumbs to shoulders. I'm getting more lift. Exhale, dive. We've got 4 more. Bring it all the way around. Pinkies to thighs, thumb to shoulders, bellies in. And dive. Let's go 3 more. Inhale, 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 inhale. Exhale as you dive into the water. 2 more. Big inhale all the way from pinkies to thighs, thumbs, shoulders. Exhale, dive. Last time, guys. All the way around. Thumbs to shoulders. And release. Child's pose, beach pose, whatever feels good. You won't need the ball. Go ahead and put it off to the side. If you really need a deep rounding, tuck that ball into your abdomen and fold over it. It'll force the body to go into a deeper flexion. Huge, massive breaths into your back breath. Open everything up. Once that feels a little more recovered, I want you to take that ball, put it off to the side if you still have it. Hands to the floor. Let's down dog. Lift it up and go ahead and prance here, you guys. Stretch things out, shoulders down into your back pockets. As I'm prancing, I'm walking my feet closer to my hands. I'll bend the knees when I need to. My legs are quite wide. I'm going to go into a supported ragdoll. If you like unsupported ragdoll, go right ahead. Inhale, exhale. And then bend the knees, slowly transition up. Come up slow, come up slow. If all you've had is coffee today, you might get a little woo, so be careful with that. Nice big inhale, lift that heart. Hands down, center, heart release. We're really hoping that all you haven't had is just coffee, being that it's what, like 5 o'clock for you almost? That would be traumatic. PM. Roll those shoulders. And we are done.